Part two of today's WPSD Local 6 Legal Line. Returning are Teris Swanson and Austin Kennedy of the Bryant Law Center in Paducah to answer your questions. We've got a number you can call. It's 1-888-208-6946. Give us a call. We'll try to have an answer for you here in the next 4 minutes or so. And we do have a question from Mary who says, my husband was injured in an accident in Illinois. Do we have to hire an attorney from Illinois or can we call your office? Teris, what do you think?
Well, you can definitely call our office. If we for some reason cannot help you, we probably can refer you to someone or give you some names of someone. You do need to have an attorney who's licensed in Illinois to file a lawsuit in Illinois, but maybe your case doesn't require a lawsuit, or maybe it's something that we can help you out with. There's options for attorneys in other states to get it temporarily admitted into different states depending on the case and the facts. It may be worth it, it may not. So definitely give our office a call and we'll see if we can help you out with that.
Sally wants to know if it's true that if an officer pulls you over in Kentucky, he or she can see if you have car insurance when running your plate number.
I've never heard of that. I'm sure there are different searches they could do to figure something out. Whether they take the time to do that, that's different. But just running the plate number, you're not always going to see if someone has car insurance. I think that what's going to happen is they're going to ask you for proof of insurance. If you don't have proof of insurance, then they very well could cite you for it. And then you're going to have a court date potentially. And what you do is you go to court and you say, I'm sorry, I didn't have my car insurance with me, but here's proof that I've had it and I was covered on the date that I was pulled over. And more than likely what they're going to do is just dismiss it and just kind of just a warning. But I've never heard it to where they just search your, look your license plate number up and can tell automatically if you have active car insurance on that vehicle. But I could be wrong. I don't know if, Teris, have you heard anything about that on the criminal end?
I have not, no.
Well, I have heard of people that have said they were pulled over and offered their insurance card to the officer, and he said, I've already checked it. So I think the jury still may be out on that one a little bit, folks. I guess just stay tuned. We do have a question from another viewer, Anonymous, who says, the adjuster from the insurance company keeps trying to make me sign off on repairs, but I think there is more damage to the frame. Can I insist they check the frame before I agree to the repairs?
Well, I mean, absolutely. You don't have to just agree with everything they say and what they're willing to offer on the value of your vehicle or the damage to your vehicle. You're entitled to get it inspected yourself, to have it towed to a mechanic to do an estimate on the vehicle and see what damage is done. Now, you may very well have a disagreement as to what is compensable or what is related to that accident versus what was there before the accident, in which case you may find yourself in small claims court or other court in whatever jurisdiction you are in. But no, I would say you don't have to just automatically accept everything they're saying or doing. Even if that's what they're willing to offer for your vehicle to pay for your damages.
We have a question that comes from Lee, who was stopped for a DUI and his blood test came back negative. Can he sue for damages?
I'm assuming you're asking about suing the police department for a false arrest or something like that. Just based on what you've said there, I'm going to say no, but that's definitely a fact-sensitive case that you need to call and talk to an attorney about who handles those sorts of suits. There's different ways that officers test for intoxication when they pull you over. They don't necessarily have to have a blood or urine or whatever test to arrest you for that. So if they reasonably thought that you were intoxicated based on your behavior, slurred speech, maybe a smell of alcohol, whatever it was, then they have a right to arrest you for that, regardless of whatever your blood alcohol says or doesn't say.
One final question comes from Carla, who says, how long do I have to file a lawsuit for injuries that I received in a car accident? Is there a statute of limitations?
Well, there is. In Kentucky, you have it's the MVRA covers it, the Motor Vehicle Reparations Act. It says that you have 2 years from the date of accident or 2 years from the date of the last personal injury protection payment, whichever is later. With that in mind, though, I would always try to contact a lawyer well before just a 1-year anniversary. Just that way you get the lawyer time to work the case up, talk to you, advise you, all that sort of thing. And you don't have to cut it short by putting the lawyer potentially or yourself in a dangerous situation by getting close to that statute of limitations. There are also other issues to consider too. I mean, if it's a case where there's underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage, you don't want to get in a situation where maybe that contract that you've signed with that underinsured or uninsured motorist carrier says something other than 2 years or 2 years from the date of the last PIP payment. You could probably win it in court, but I wouldn't even want to put myself in that situation because you're talking about making something way more complicated than it needs to be.
Austin Kennedy, Teris Swanson from the Bryant Law Center in Paducah, our guest today on this edition of Local 6 Legal Line. We thank you for watching, and if you would like to review this segment or any others we might have online, go to WPSDLocal6.com.